I was walking on the roof of a church recently in an inspection, and I realized that there were parts of the metal structure of the roof that were beginning to show signs of corrosion, rust. Then I pointed it out to those responsible and I said, we need to look into this because it is starting to show signs of corrosion and we need to nip this in the bud. And it was a church with less than 10 years of existence, which brought to my memory a thought. I was surprised because the church was so new and the structure was already showing signs of corrosion. But it was a metal structure that was exposed, the external part, exposed to heat, rain, so on and so forth. And immediately I remembered, nothing remains static in life. Everything changes and nothing remains the same. Everything that exists, everything that is around us, everything, absolutely everything, the planet, the universe which is moving, the stars, the air of the earth, everything, the water, the seas, the animals, the living things and the inanimate things. Nothing stays the same because everything is subject to time, to the elements that impact other elements, such as I just spoke, the heat, the rain, the wind, the time that simply passes and things start to age, and people also start to get older. And we often make the big mistake of thinking that things will remain the same as they have always been. And that's where the carelessness, the neglect, the lack of attention and maintenance of the things we want to remain in good condition comes in. So just as the church's roof needs maintenance, somebody to treat it right on the spot where the corrosion is spreading, to nip it in the bud, that it may not advance. In life, we also must learn to be attentive to everything that is changing around us, from our body, because we are aging. Nobody is getting younger. As time passes by, we all are getting older, including the youths. All of us are getting older. We all are subject to age, and there's no cream, gem, there's no anti-aging treatment that will fight that. You can, of course, with good health care, you can extend your health and take a good care of your health, and you should do that. But nobody will be able to reverse aging. This is something that is certain. So our health is in constant changing because of the age and time. We have relationships. You see, in your marriage, for instance, in my marriage, I thought I was married and I was ready. Nothing was ready. I had to conquer it. And I didn't understand that from the altar, I would enter in a new stage for my relationship. Now I would be married. I had to be a husband. Up until the moment I was a boyfriend, fiancé, but I had to be a husband. But what many couples don't realize that from the day of marriage onwards, both roles change from fiancé to husband and wife, and immediately this is said, and you are declared husband and wife. So you are changed from one condition to another, but it seems that it doesn't dawn on us, and we think that we should simply live in that life of boyfriend and girlfriend. But the new stage of being married requires adapting, changing, and this happens from the altar, and it doesn't stop. It doesn't stop. The first year of marriage is one thing, the second is something else, everything can change. It's not that you change with the calendar necessarily, like in 365 days, because your marriage can change in one day. One event that you made a lot of money, and this new reality of a new budget, 10 times more than you had, can change everything between the both of you. Or just as a drop on the budget, or a child, or moving to a new house, to a new area of the city, a new country, far from relatives or close to relatives, am I right? Everything changes. A neighbor coming in can change your marriage. So everything in life is subject to changing. So you who work and you are a professional, you are a business person, you collaborate in a company, everything is changing. There's nothing that is static. There's only one thing that doesn't change: God. The Word of God says clearly. God says, "For I am the Lord, I do not change." So one thing that is different from God and the human being is that He doesn't change. Jesus Christ is the same yesterday, today, and forever. God doesn't change. Here is a massive difference between the human being and God. We can look at Him, trust Him, depend on Him, depend on His word, rely our lives on Him, because He will not grow old. He will not change His way of being. The word He said will not be changed. His promises will not be cancelled. Everything that God has spoken, everything that God does and is, remains the same. Therefore, He is God. Thus, those who learn to depend on Him, trust in God, and put their faith and lives in His hands, immediately achieve peace, achieve security, because if on the one side nothing in life remains the same, becomes static, and things are in constant motion, and even what it seems to be static, it is not even the earth is static, it is moving. On the other hand, we are sure that God is the same and will not change, and we can put our trust in Him amid difficulties, fights that happen. This is an important understanding for us to have, this trust and certainty that when you rely yourself on God, even if everything is in motion, in your life, everything is changing. New challenges will come with a new year, with the end of an old year and beginning of a new year. Even though all things in your life being in motion, and if you are anchored on someone who does not change, is never shaken, then you have security. You are at peace, because He will guide you through all your life's process until you close your eyes, and then to be with Him eternally, to a new earth, a new heaven, where nothing will be the same as down here. So maybe you are there, discouraged, looking at things in your life and asking yourself, this used to be so good and now is so bad, and something else you say, this was bad and this improved. This will always happen. Pay attention. Don't get used with anything that is bad or anything that is good. Be prepared for changes. What is bad today, don't be discouraged. Tomorrow will be better. And what is good today, don't settle for that, because tomorrow you will have to work on that. You will have to treat, remove the rust. Am I right? The greatest secret is for you to anticipate yourself, because just as in the maintenance of a building, a property, the best thing is not for you to wait for the rust to appear, or water to start dripping inside of the house or of the building, but to prevent the problems, to maintain a preventive maintenance, to treat something before it happens. In life is the same. If you are attentive to what is happening to your spiritual, financial, physical, emotional life, your relationships, if you are attentive to what is happening and think, it's time for me to give more attention to my marriage, it's time for me to give more attention to my health, to my spiritual life, to my child. If you are attentive, connected, aware of what is happening to you and around you, and you will be able to take actions that will prevent you from problems. You anticipate the problem, and then your life is way better. Your life will be way longer and healthier. As a roof that will last way longer if the preventive maintenance is given to it. If today's video helped you and you know someone that could benefit from it, share it with them, and if you haven't subscribed to the channel, you may do so now. See you later.